Guten Tag, good morning, buenos dias, bonjour. I am Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, and we're about to get this party started as soon as my tablette says that it is 5:30. And it is 5:30. So, welcome to today's morning mental workout. I am the illustrious Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. Today we are here having our morning mental workout, and we are going to be discussing the principles of real leadership and how to use them. We're starting with realistic. Gonna go down the first 9. Hopefully we can get them all done today. If not, to be continued por la mañana. But before we get that party started on your own, go ahead and inhale and exhale 3 times just to quiet the mind and let it know we're about to do something for it. If you do not have a second device, now would be a great time to go and gather one because we will be using the website, theturnarounddoctor.com. So this is a perfect time for you to go and grab a second device that you have, a tablet, a laptop, another phone. Go to theturnarounddoctor.com. If you're watching on a replay, go and grab 2 devices. Well, the one you're using or watching, and then an additional one. This morning when I was I always make an intro video. I have to go get my other light starting tomorrow because this one is on its way out. Always make a video announcing whatever the live is going to be. And so today's video, it took me a couple takes, and normally I don't take a long time. I'm 1 or 2 takes and I'm done, and I post the video. But today I found myself hesitating. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you, Dr. Donna? And what it was I have had the Principles of Real Leadership since 2008, book published in 2009. And I'm starting to talk about it. I'm starting to inculcate it into how we do everything. I've talked about it. I put it on a post. It's the Principles of Real Leadership, their playlist on different social media platforms. But to literally be teaching it now, there was this hesitation. And so finally, after the 4th take, I just said, look, I'm going to keep it a buck. I didn't talk about the Principles of Real Leadership because I didn't think nobody would be interested. I honestly didn't think anybody could use it because when you are in the military, you work in corporate America, you grow up in the environment that I grew up in, my stuff wasn't shit. My sister in my head telling me that, and other people saying, no, you're not the one, you're not the chosen one. We can use some of what you're saying, but we won't use all of what you're saying because this isn't your thing. This is their thing. So growing through that, as today is my 478th day live, and saying, how did I become the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth? And it's the 74 Principles of Real Leadership. Been doing it 51 years, soon to be, God willing, 52 years in May. They work. They work. My daughter doesn't take medication and she's got ADD and ADHD because of the 74 Principles of Real Leadership. I have gone places I never thought I would be able to go to because of the Principles of Real Leadership. And so it's almost like when you're coming to do something extraordinary, then the universe and God and the higher power will send people in to see if you're going to still do what you came here to do, or are you going to be like, nah, I'm going to just, good morning, Regina, I'm going to just do conformity bias. You're right. My stuff doesn't work. Let's go use somebody else's. No, you know what? This isn't going to get us out of this situation. So let's just go ahead and use this dumbass plan from 4 generations ahead of us in our family. And we're just going to keep doing this dumb shit. It's not going to happen. So the 74 Principles of Real Leadership work. They work better than anything else. So if we were using this, if you're a Christian and you're using the 10 Commandments you're supposed to live your life by, the 74 Principles of Real Leadership are how you hold yourself personally accountable to become a bad mofo. Period. If you don't want to be a bad mofo, cool. Go somewhere else. Don't come over here looky-looing and driving by and looking and seeing if it's something that you can take back to Loserville, because this shit gonna stop right at the Real Leader Loserville line. As soon as you cross back over, it's going to go away. You can't use it over there. It doesn't work. You got to be over here in order for your superpowers to actually be superpowers. That's how that goes. So my point that I'm making is this. Hesitant to tell people about the Principles of Real Leadership. It's like, oh, they're going to tell me it's not going to work. But it is working. How did I get to be Dr. Donna? The Principles of Real Leadership. How am I on my 478th day consecutively of lives? The Principles of Real Leadership. How do I still fit in my prom dress after 34 years? The Principles of Real Leadership. So everything that I do, say, and how I behave on a daily basis is because of the Principles of Real Leadership. And I'm gonna act like it's because of something else, because it's somebody else's theory, because of what my mama said. No, 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 ain't because what the army taught me. No, because y'all, I know every last one person on here know at least one veteran. Y'all know a veteran that ain't veteran and like me. Y'all know somebody that worked at a Fortune 100 company. They're like, well, but Frito-Lay said, or Coca-Cola said, no, when I was working at Pepsi, here's what, that ain't what's happening. It's the principles of real leadership that make all of this possible, that make these 10,700 and counting videos possible and these billions of views. It's the principles of real leadership. So I'm standing on that. But it took me 400 and something days to even have the courage to for real, say this is what we about to do. This is what we are about to do. So that takes effort. If you are in an unaccountable situation, an unaccountable relationship, or multiple relationships, job, business, and everything else, you're going to have to exit stage left with that. Because as soon as you start talking about personal accountability and holding other people personally accountable, they're going to start saying shit like, you changed. Are you sure about that? I've had people say, well, what's her credentials? The other person on here the other day asking all the questions like, well, where'd you get your research from? I told you where I got it from. Look it up. But as soon as it starts sounding different, it starts sounding like change, it starts sounding crazy, it sounds like you about to leave us, we got to make sure you stay. I don't trust her. Google her. I know it's something wrong with her. See, you can't trust people that was born in 1973 in May. She a tourist? Nope, I don't trust it. She ain't married? Nope. She said she stopped going to church. No, I don't trust it. She only got one daughter. What's wrong with her? Nope, she don't drink or smoke. Say, I don't trust nobody that don't drink or smoke. She ain't got no vices. Nah, something wrong with her. That's coming from the devil. I know that. That's like when the internet first started. Don't trust that. That's what you're going to hear. But somehow, you better. You feel better. You're smarter and you're stronger and you're better because of the 74 principles of real leadership. Because of that. Hello, Mr. Puff. Don't interrupt me again because I'm talking. This is a learning environment. Go grab a pencil and paper if you stand in a secondary device and go to the turnarounddoctor.com. Don't ask no questions to the end. Those are the guiding principles unless I ask you a question first. Moving on. Here we go. So the principles of real leadership work. They work. So get to your second device, go to the turnarounddoctors.com. No, you're not sorry. I'm just telling you because people know that they can go to other people's lives and start typing shit. This is an online lecture. So no, I'm on it. I got whole notes and everything that I'm about to go over. So if you stand, go get a second device, go to the turnarounddoctor.com and get ready to learn. And it's okay if you leave. I ain't attached to it either way. When you get to the website, you're going to the 74 Principles of Real Leadership page. Give me a thumbs up or yes, or I'm there once you're there. And as soon as we get some spring clothes available here, these Walmart t-shirts don't work. They keep puckering. I hate that. Ill-fitting. I do not like ill-fitting clothes. All right. So I mentioned the 74 principles of real leadership. I've talked about them intermittently. Now we've been over the last 2 weeks, we've been focusing on how to use them. And so we're starting with realistic. And it's, remember, real and pink are acronyms: realistic, effective, authentic, leader-led, powerful, innovative, natural, and knowledgeable. So we're in the realistic section of the principles of real leadership. And realistic leadership is honest leadership, and it requires you to lead from 3 areas: your head, your heart, and your gut. Coincidentally, those are your 3 brains: your head, your heart, and your gut. I had no idea that was actually a thing in 2008 when I wrote the book. Just recently found that out 3 days ago. So talk about synchronicity and knowing why you were born. So the first one we're going to review today is embrace change. Now, be honest. When change occurs in your life, do you bring it and say, "Come, change? Come on in. Woo, mwah, mwah. I missed you, change. Come on. So do you willingly embrace change when it shows up, virtually, physically, emotionally, financially? Do you embrace it? Be honest. I don't. Not initially. I don't. I'll go first. I don't. So you can say yes, no, hell no, nope, not in this life or the next. Do you embrace change? Not at all. You're like, excuse me, change. You didn't, I wasn't ready to change. Hold up. You early. You supposed to be here 3 years from now. I didn't schedule you. I'm looking on my digital and my physical calendars, and I'm not really seeing you right now. So what the hell? It's like an uninvited guest. Somebody, somebody saying, excuse me, what? Okay. So let me tell you when change happens. Change happens when it feels like happening. When it's time for change, it happens. Regardless if you're ready, if you're prepared. Sometimes if you say, oh, I'm getting ready to graduate high school and I'm going to college. So you're like, oh, this is a willing change. This is awesome. However, when you, for anybody who's perimenopausal or going through the change does what it wants. Hot flash will show up when, wherever, don't care what hair you got on, makeup, outfit, hot flash say, what's up? How you doing? And you just sitting there fanning. So then you have to prepare for change. Now, what's happening when change shows up is your comfort zone is being affected and impacted. That's why people don't embrace change, because like, wait, hold up, wait a minute. Wait, you taking my what? You taking my what? But change is just a growth opportunity. It's showing up because it's time for you to grow. So here is my embrace change strategy that I have developed independent of the book. I give myself 15 minutes to vent about how unfair this fucking change is. Oh, this is some bullshit. I can't, oh, really? So it's not. Now, with everything else I got going on, here comes some change too. And so I use my feeling strategy. What am I feeling? Pissed off. I'm feeling like this is not fair. Why am I feeling this? Because this change showed up in the middle of me working on everything. Or you just got finished with a change and here come another change. And now you're saying, no. See, I had already I thought like I was going to get like a grace period before this next change showed up. So I'm in my 2 weeks off. I'm on sabbatical, short little sabbatical. So this change is showing up at the wrong time. I give myself 15 minutes. And then I embrace the change and be strategic and I implement that change. So going forward, when change happens, embrace it. Because if you don't embrace the change, here is what's going to happen. You're going to ignore that change that you need to make, and then another one is going to come. 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 And then another. And then you're going to find yourself sitting in a room with 15 changes that you didn't embrace. And now the change that you actually wanted to make, you can't make it. Why? Because you needed to do those other 15 things to have the skills and the resource and the talent and the time and the strength to use it for the current change. So now you're trying to figure out, oh, I want to start a business. Okay, did you skip econ and accounting? Did you not work on your financial literacy and your own personal finances? And now you're trying to seek investments. You try, oh, I'm just going to get my Duns Bradstreet, get my credit up. I got everything filed and I'm good to go. And now I'm about to, and then you can't meet payroll because you didn't do PIMDIS way back in the 5th grade and didn't do it when I was going over it. So the changes show up to give you a skill and a lesson for the future changes that's showing up. And they just pile up. So you might be sitting somewhere and don't have the skills. I'm going to use me as an example. And here it is. I didn't like technology, so much so that when I got Nola her iPad Nano, I had to take it to work and have one of my employees put all the music on it. When I got my digital camera, I had to take it to work and have one of my managers show me how to use the doggone thing. I didn't even know how to use a digital frame. Sounds crazy now, but I was like, ooh, no, you said, dang, I thought people was just so tech savvy with that little bit of nonsense. And now I'm like, I can do this. I'm coding websites by 2013, 14. Forgot I knew how to do it because I had to dig back into my basic and Fortran, but still. The point is, I didn't want to do any of that. I was scared to use iMovie. Oh man, I'm like, iMovie, no, Adobe Pro. Oh, I don't want to do any of this. Went to Genius Bar, shit's not working. Got it. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Over there doing it like no business, nobody's business. So if I hadn't had the 2 people who couldn't graphically design for me, and I just kept trying to find somebody to do the graphics, there are no 85 posts today because it's 14 to 17 posts. So I need a person to make me 14 to 17 posts. In addition to, because they were outsourced, they got other stuff to do. They can't just be making my post all the time, especially because you got to make it, send it. I got to prove it. You got to make it. You got to send it back to me in the right formats because I'm not letting people go straight to my accounts and upload it myself. I don't know you like that. I'm only Nola got access to my doggone accounts and she don't have access to all of them because, hey, anyway, got to love the streets of the MP and me. So the point is this. Had I not done all of that, Had I not went back and got my distinguished Toastmaster and all those communication certifications and all of that, I'm not the Dr. Donna that you see today. I don't have the ability to be off the cuff. If I didn't do stand-up comedy, there's no lives to handle these hecklers as they come. Because if I didn't live in the hood, we play to dozens of people, we stand stuff by me, I'd be in a fetal position crying with the things that people have said to me online. So when change shows up and you don't embrace it, and now you're sitting in your current change situation, trace that shit back. If you can't embrace your current change, just go ahead and get you a nice little mind map, or go ahead and do like they do on crime shows and trace it back. How come you can't do your current change? What steps did you skip? Who did you ask? What did you delegate? Your growth opportunities did you delegate and outsource to somebody else? And now you're not even talking to them no more. So you can't do this current thing that you need to know how to do, because 15 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, when you needed to learn how to do it, you didn't do it. Nola was not an effective communicator. She is now, but I was making her back when she was in the 8th grade do competent communicator. She was phoning it in. And then bada boom, bada bing, here come TaskRabbit. And now she got to effectively communicate on the phone, in text messages, in the messaging, the TaskRabbit, and in person with the client. So she got all her communicate effectively lessons, pow, all at once. And because I am an amazing parent, I did not never ever neglect to say, you do realize I told you to start doing this when you was 13, so you wouldn't have some of these problems right now. I told you when you was 13, when you only had a couple things to work on way back then, I said learn how to communicate effectively, and you didn't. So now you ain't got no choice, and now you got to do it. And it's all as kids and pets and all kind of people older. Everybody at one point was older than her when she went to appointments, and now she got to do it in real time. So think about how many times you did not embrace change. That's why you in the situation that you in right now. Yes. And let me go ahead. There you go. So embrace change when it happens. I told you my method. I complain. I'm like, man, some bullshit. Fuck. Okay. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This sucks. Okay. What do I need to do? And then I'm done. Good morning, Lola. Then I'm finished. And I go ahead and do it. So number 2 is be coachable. Be coachable. I don't know if y'all notice about me, but I'm type A personality. Strong personality. Didn't have a strong personality until I turned 11 because I didn't talk often. But when my personality showed up, it showed up and showed out. And it ain't been back in since then. Be coachable. I was not coachable. I was not coachable. And because I was the neighborhood champ, and this is a story from my book, I wasn't coachable. This neighborhood champ running. I was smoking the shit out of everybody in the neighborhood. So when I went back to track after going to basic training my senior year, I was a sprinter. And Mr. Smiley and Mr. Ford, he was the assistant coach, she was the head coach, kept saying sprinters got to use the starting blocks. I was like, yeah, I ain't got to do that shit. I'm a neighborhood champ. And I'm getting smoked. Finally, she said, everybody got to use the starting blocks. And the starting blocks were complicated for me because my arms are long, my legs are long, but I had a short torso, so I couldn't get the placement right. I couldn't come out of a leaning position all the way up to a running position, so it was very difficult. And to push off, I'm like, why do I need to push off? And so after she mandated that everybody use the doggone starting blocks, I had no choice. Mr. Ford stayed with me, showed me how to use them, and then I started winning races. Now, was I extraordinarily good? No, because I was already in my senior year. Had I stayed in my sophomore year, I would have been much better. But my goal was to let her in track, let her in cross country, and do the best that I could, and that's what I did, and to include using the starting blocks. But I was not coachable. You couldn't tell me stuff. Sergeant Morgenstern helped a little bit, but I wasn't a good listener. I was right, you was wrong. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Yeah, coaching, smoaching, whatevs. But I became coachable, and as soon as I became coachable, guess what happened? I started getting coached better. I started having better coaches around me and people that could tell me to do things that I needed to do because I became coachable. So you sitting on here every day, listening to me, being in challenges, and then turning around and coming to do the things that I'm telling you to do, you're being coachable. It's a willingness to say, I don't know, but you do. I don't know, but you do. That's why I've read a lot of books about great coaches. I've read Pat Riley, John Wooten, Belichick, Tony Dungy, and there's one more. So I've read a couple of the great coaches. Wooten, it seems like it's somebody else. I'd have to go back through the book of rules, but that's fine. That's good enough for you to understand that being coachable means that you have to be open. So if you are not open to, and I'm saying, don't let anybody be telling you some shit. I'm talking about somebody that got a track record. That's who you allow yourself to be coached by. All these life coaches and shit. I ain't talking about them. I'm a life coach. Nope. Not talking about you with your 6-week motherfucking certificate. Not talking about you. I'm talking about real coaches who was in the trenches and now have said, like Customato that coached Mike Tyson and Bundini in the doggone on the sidelines with what's his name, Muhammad Ali. I'm talking about people who can bring out the best in you. Be coachable to those people because they have a vested interest in your success, independent of their own success. So be coachable. Be willing to be coached, or it's never going to work. It's not going to happen. Okay. Number 3, we did this earlier, I think last week. Solicit feedback. Now, feedback is the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, you don't ask everybody for feedback because if you ask the wrong person, an unaccountable person, it's going to turn into destructive criticism. So you ask people for feedback for 2 reasons: your performance or your behavior. You do not ask people about feedback on your character when they got poor character too. If you go to any 12 steps, they talk about defects of character. Most unaccountable people have defects of character that they ignore like the shit ain't there, and it's following them around like a damn shadow. So you're not asking people's opinion of who you are. You are asking for feedback on the performance and on the behavior, and it is given in a sandwich approach, a positive, a negative, and a positive. And the person should be telling you how you can improve your behavior or your performance. That is what it is. Okay. If it's anything else, Dr. Donna, I think you need to fill in the back of your eyebrows. That's an opinion. And I'm not. Those years are behind me. You want to see them filled in, go look at some old videos. Dr. Donna, I think you should stop putting shea butter on your face. Okay. And I think you really should just glam it up on these lives. You coming on here at 5 o'clock in the morning, you using that time to prepare the agenda. You need to be beating your face and putting on some better outfits than that Walmart t-shirt. Okay, cool. Not what the fuck does that have to do with teaching people how to use their brain or learn how to use the 74 principles of real leadership? That's not going to help anybody. Okay, it's not. But if you say, hey, Dr. Donna, sometimes when you're giving information, you speak so fast. You said that you speak fast. If you could just slow it down or repeat it. Is it okay if I ask you questions? Can I send you an email? Sure, absolutely. I want you to get the information. I have so much information in my head. I want to get it all to you in the same live. So I have to tell myself, slow down. Okay, that's why I repeat it, especially on other videos, the Real Leader Brain and the PA for today. If you get into later ones, I repeat the definition of the word so that you can understand it. That's performance-focused feedback. If someone says, you know what, because now I have students in other continents, I didn't realize there's somebody from Australia. They're 19 hours ahead of us. So when I'm sending out 8 p.m. PST, they're 19 hours ahead of us. Somebody else is in Africa. They're 11 hours in Kenya ahead of me. So even when I send everything, it has to be for the next day because they're not currently in the day that I'm in, with a short window when we're both in the same day. So those are things that help me improve what it is that I'm doing. So now I have to ask what time zone and what country you're in before I send stuff to you. But had that never occurred, then I wouldn't know. So that's an improvement for me. Does that make sense? Because I just assumed that everybody was in America. But hey, I'm global, international, and worldwide. How you like that? Okay. So that's solicit feedback. So you're asking people how to improve your performance and behavior, and you're asking creditable people. Do not ask an unaccountable person about shit you're doing because all they're going to do is make you feel bad and sad, and that's going to make them glad. That's why their asses got to stay in Loserville. And someone else told me I should stop saying Loserville. I'm not going to stop saying Loserville. I don't give a fuck if it makes you uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable saying Loserville. Being in that motherfucker. I don't have a better term for it. If you're over there, you're losing. You're losing. You're losing. You're distracting and taking away from yourself and other people. So that's why it's Loserville. So some of the things I'm not changing because I have a reason for saying it. I've said one loser in your life is 3 too many because they're causing triple amount of trouble because they have low self-esteem, low confidence, and a big ass ego. Every time you interact with an unaccountable person and they leave, you feel less than. They've taken something away from you and left. You're not like, yep, that was a great experience. See, that's why I like being around unaccountable people, because it ain't nothing like them to tell you that you ain't shit. I mean, they will really make you feel lower than low, than low, low, low. Yes, they will. And then they'll walk away with all your energy and all your information and go back to Loserville and look like champions. Absolutely not. So that's not going anywhere. If that's a problem for you, exit stage left, because I'm not saying it no more. Okay. The next one is eliminate clutter. Number 4, eliminate clutter. Clutter on the outside means there's clutter up here. Clutter on the outside means there's clutter up here. You know, when people have behavior problems in school, first thing they say is what's happening at home. Something is happening, and this negative, bad behavior is the direct result of something else. This is just the outward manifestation of a problem. So if your house has clutter in it, you got clutter up here. If your car has clutter in it, if your garage, if your purse, your wallet, your office, your desk, your house, your extra house, your side piece house, your insignificant other house, if you got a storage unit, 2 storage units, we got people that have 2 or 3 storage units and a 3-car garage, they still got shit everywhere. Clutter means that this is clutter, okay? So you have to clear out the clutter. I have clutter videos to declutter your life, but you got to eliminate the clutter in your life in order for you to have a clear mind. Clutter minds means that it is brain fog and you can't think straight, and that's why you can't find nothing. You can't see nothing. It's time to cook and you don't remember where you put your roaster. You can't find your favorite pie tin or nothing because you got too much stuff. So here's the rule that Nola and I use, and I've been using this for a very long time. If you have not used it or worn it, and it is not for a special reason, you donate it. If no one else can use it, you are discarding it, and you are only keeping the things that you have used or worn in the last year. Okay? You cannot have a size 2 through 22 in your closet. You got to pick 2 sizes and stay those 2 sizes. You got a fall winter weight and a spring summer weight. Me, it's a 0 and a 2. Okay, yours might be a 10 and a 12. If you men, it might be 34 and 36, but you pick 2 sizes. You ain't getting back. We had a client, we did an organization, and the husband thought he was getting back in the skinny jeans, and the wife said he ain't getting back in them skinny jeans, but that's between him and his skinny jeans. But he not getting back in them. Okay, so don't just be holding on. Now, special occasions, I still have my prom dress, I still have my graduation dress for my party from high school, and that's it, and a couple fur coats. Other than that, everything else is given away because somebody else could be using them 15 roasters that you got in the garage in case you had a family reunion back at your house again. Okay? You don't need all that. And it's taking up too much space. If you can't find where everything is, you got too much shit. That's how that goes. So clutter everywhere. And so you do an overhaul, you have a garage sale, put it on Facebook Marketplace, go donate it to your local charity, give it away, and then only keep what you use. And if you haven't used it or worn it in a year, donate it. That's how that goes. Everything. Give it away, sell it. And I don't care what it is that you do, but stop trying to have all this stuff. I grew up poor, I understand. Like having people that grew up poor got a bunch of shit. Whole bunch. I can't, but I might, I just can't. And you know, when you give it away, sometimes the people at the place keep it. So what? Why do you care who keeps it? You not using it. So if someone at the place uses it, someone sells it and uses it, why do you care if it is now being used? And I'm going to say, I paid too much money for that. Then why you not using it? If you paid too much money for it, why you ain't using it? And why did you buy it and not use it? Because you was doing some retail therapy. I'm going to buy this. Your whole damn house look like an as seen on TV ad. And you ain't using none of it. You use 20% of the stuff that you have. The rest of that shit is just sitting there. Just because I want to make sure I got it. Because just in case. You do not need 15 white blouses. Unless you work in the service industry. And you got to have on a crisp white blouse because you're a concierge at the hotels or something. You don't. You do not need 15 pair of black stilettos. Unless you are working on the strip in one of the shows. Why? Just in case. Well, they don't make it no more. You're not wearing it. You're not. You're not using it. You're not wearing it. Get rid of the clutter. Today, if you was looking for a sign, this is it. Get rid of that shit. Okay, number 5 is get organized and stay organized. Nola will tell you she was extremely disorganized her entire life until she started using the principles of real leadership. Extremely disorganized. Couldn't get anything together. You know why you can't get organized? You got too much shit. So as soon as you get rid of the clutter, what's left is you can organize it. So when Nola and I do organizations, we have a process that I developed that's called discard, donate, and keep. So we go through, they walk us through. We tell them we're not doing that stupid ass Marie Kondo shit because them clear containers and that bullshit don't work. That's way more effort. Your house needs to be functional. So whatever we're organizing, I say, okay, what is it that you want to do? I want to be able to put my car in the garage. I want to be able to walk in my closet and see all my clothes. And okay, cool, got it. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take all this stuff out and then we're going to call you back out. And now we hold up receipts, books, pictures from the kids and everything. You keeping this, you donating this, or we throwing it in the trash. Once we get finished with discard, donate, and keep, we take whatever we're keeping and we organize that. If we need to come back because they need to buy storage containers and things like that, we come back for a second time. But that's how that goes. And what we do is we take the donate with us. Because if we leave the donate, your ass is going to put that back in the house, the garage, or the closet. So it goes bye-bye. I make several trips to whatever is closest donation center is close to the appointment. You not using this no more. This is coming with us. And then sometimes I have a negotiation pile. And they go, I don't know. Okay, cool. We're going to negotiate. You want to keep this sweater? Something else in that pile has to go. And what I'm doing while I hold up something and I look at people's facial expression. As soon as they make a face, they either grab it and hold on to it or they go, donate. And what happens is people end up with a lot of stuff that people have given them gifts for special occasions. People think they know your style and they give you some shit that ain't got nothing to do with your style and you keep it because they gave it to you. You ain't used it. They ain't thought about it. They ain't asked you about it, but you're going to hold on to it. Guess what I do with those? They go right to the donation. They go right. If they gave this to me 10 years ago. Have they asked you about it? Did they say, why you never wear that sweater I gave you? If they forgot about it, give it to somebody else who wanted to use that doggone sweater for an ugly Christmas tree party. Because you don't need to keep it. So once you get rid of the clutter, now you can get organized and you stay organized. And you know how you stay organized? It's because you don't do anything without a strategy. You don't do anything without a strategy. And from Lean Six Sigma and Kaizen from Frito-Lay, a place for everything and everything in this place. So when you take your shoes, all my shoes are in original boxes. I don't do them clear cases because I don't have to see them. I know looking at the box and the price on the box what shoe it is. Put it back. Put it back. All my purses are sitting up on the top shelf in one of my closets in the duster bag, except for the 2 that I use all the time. My wigs, I got 14 wig heads in rotation. The rest of them are laid flat, and I don't rotate them out until one. If you notice, most of my wigs have similar formats. I throw that one away, take a new one out, put it on the wig head, and I'm done. Everything is organized. You come to our house, it's like, oh, you cleaned up. No, we didn't. This is how the house always looked. We ain't got to be like, oh my God, we're about to have some company. Clean up! That's not what's happening. My clothes have been color coordinated since I was in high school. They go from light to dark. My suits are all by themselves because of how these closets are formatted in Las Vegas. And my fur coats are in one of Nola's rooms because that's the coolest room in the house. That's it. And then this closet right here has all my assembled work clothes in it because I don't mix and match. I don't want the energy from those clothes with my regular clothes. So that's the point. You got to get organized and stay organized. So the first thing you got to do is get rid of the clutter. Second thing you got to do is get organized and stay organized. I make my bed up every day. We'll have a whole bunch of stuff on the walls and all this. And it's okay. We go to people's houses. They have art and all of that. As long as it's organized and you know where everything is. That's what's happening. So you disorganized, you're not going to be able to grab something. You're not going to be able to walk out the door, quickly grab your things because stuff is going to be all over the place. So get organized and stay organized. Number 6 is eliminate distractions. And distractions is also the PA and the real leader brain for today, which you'll get to later on. Eliminate distractions. Okay? All distractions. Okay? So that's people, places, and things. And what it is a distraction. And where's my note at? Give me 1 second. Did I get rid of it already? Yep, because I will tear some stuff up. Okay, so a distraction is a person, place, or thing that diverts your attention away from something that you want to focus on. A person, place, or thing that diverts your attention away from something that you want to focus on. That is a distraction. The example that I used in the Real Leader Brain is I used to go to Starbucks all the time. I went to Starbucks to write my book. And this was, 2008, 9. Starbucks has become really popular. And so now people are always in them. Always talking, meeting, because it became a popular thing. So I switched to go to the Leone Cafe. Same thing happened. More people moved here. People chit-chatting and talking. Finally, I had to come home and just have coffee at home, do all my work at home, and then venture out after that because it was a distraction. I don't give anybody my telephone number anymore because it's a distraction. People call you when the fuck they feel like it. They send stupid ass text messages all kind of time. And back in the day, I used to turn my phone off. You couldn't get in touch with me. I had a house phone. We have a house phone now, but nobody has the number, so we're good to go. But distractions stop you from the thing that you need to focus on. That's why I said you can't have no unaccountable people in your life because they are distracting you from you becoming your best. People, places, and things. We got in Vegas. I don't know if y'all ever been to Vegas and not been on a strip, but there are slot machines everywhere. 7-Eleven, doggone. You go somewhere other than the library, there is the grocery store. All the grocery stores have a section sectioned off for you to go play slot machines. They are in the gas stations, the grocery stores. They have neighborhood casinos. They have neighborhood bars. Everywhere you go, just pull out. You can't go in any strip mall and there not be a gaming option between the gas station and one of those bars there, Dottie's and some other places, the bar, you got it. Even in my neighborhood, when we got 5 banks in one parking lot, we still got the bar with doggone, that's the name of it, with slot machines in it. And the Albertsons has slot machines in the Albertsons after the checkout. So you buy your groceries and there be people sitting there with their doggone cart on the machines. Distraction. 100. You live in Sin City, plenty of distractions, 100%. So you have to eliminate them and get rid of them and say, I am focused on becoming my best. This place, this thing, or this person is stopping me from becoming my best. So you got to go so I can grow. So eliminate the distractions. But I just love to just watch The View and listen to the hot topics every morning. Okay, but is that distracting you? Because everything you taking in is either making you better or making you bitter. Okay? Everything that you take in is making you better or making you bitter. And if you use that, you're going to be able to get rid of a bunch of distractions. Is this thing making me better or bitter? After I have the experience, am I on my way? Am I ready, empowered to go be my best? Or am I like, see these motherfuckers right here, and this is what I'm talking about, and this is why you can't have nothing, and I wish I okay, then that thing distracted you and made you bitter. So no bueno. You can't do that no more. But if it's like, yeah, all right, cool. Now I'm going to go take an art class. I'm about to go meditate. You know what? And now I'm about to make this blog. This is what I was getting ready to do. See, I needed that. This was the sign that I needed, and I'm on my way to succeed. Better, keep it. Bitter, discard it. The next one is take risk. A risk a day keeps the fear away. A risk a day keeps the fear away. The more risk you take, the less fear you take in. So if you're even and you got a bunch of fear and a little bit of risk, and I've used this several times, and the more risk you take, this is what happens. And guess what happens? Because you're taking risk and you got to use the frontal lobe, then you're not in the amygdala no more. So your fear is all the way down here. And the only time you're fearful is if a saber-toothed tiger is coming at you. That's it. So you take a risk a day, and it could be taking a different route. It could be putting on a different wig. It could be going live, and that's not something that you do. But you're just taking a risk to attack the fear. And all the shit that unaccountable people say to you, it's not true. So go ahead and be a bad mofo and take a risk. Order something on the other side of the menu. Order a different coffee. Go take a trip. Go take a drive. Go on a hike. Go to a yoga class. Go to a hot yoga class. Go to a Zumba class. Go to the library and sit down and read a book from a subject that you're unfamiliar with. Take a risk, because the working memory is going to thank you for it. And yes, it might be cognitive overload initially, but after that, you are going to develop more and more skills, and you're going to have better experiences. And the brain, because of the reward system, is going to say, I like that. Do that again. Ooh, I like that. Can we go do that again? Ooh, that's awesome. Go do that again. So don't just participate in sedentary things. I'm going to just go to a concert and I'm going to be entertained. I need somebody to entertain me. Entertain your damn self. We grew up poor. We had to make games. In my mama's grocery store was a game that we played all the time. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of toys. So we went outside and used our imagination and did a bunch of things and had better experiences than these other things. So if you're waiting on an external stimulus in order for you to be excited about something, that's not going to help your brain. When you have to go, Kevin, you just came back from Napa Valley. Y'all had to navigate. You've never been there before. You're driving around. And after you got sticker shock from the gas prices, had a great experience that you had never had before, something that you wanted to do. So go and do those things. Take the risk. Don't sit around with the people that stuckingly as like, Now you going to California. You sure you about that? These planes is falling out the sky. And them fires, did y'all see any fires while y'all was there? Was your car on fire? They steal stuff. You got to make sure you better take your club with you. You get in a rental car, make sure you get the insurance, because they can smell North Carolina on you. So make sure you put your wallet inside your drawers or something, because they might be trying to pickpocket you there. I heard it wasn't safe. That's how you do all that. You like, we ain't even going no more. No, don't do that. Absolutely not. Take the risk and be strategic about it. Be strategic about it and keep it moving, because do not take on somebody else's fear. That's their fear. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. I'm just going to keep passing it down. See, we don't move. We stay in the same zip code. I got friends who literally lived in the same exact zip code when we were children. They still live in the same zip code. And I'm in my 40s, my 50s, and they in their late 40s, and they still live in the same zip code down the street from their mama and them. You out your damn mind. I wish I would still live in 48219. Ain't no way. Okay? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No, absolutely not. So take risk until the day after you are no longer here. Okay? Go for it. And that was yesterday's real leader principle. Go for it. Go for it. I was in movies and commercials and stuff. I went for it. I found out I ain't like acting, but I went for it and I got those stories. I have those stories and those experiences. So it didn't work for me. I could have kept doing it, but I didn't feel like it. I didn't like going to the auditions and getting the sides. And you walk, it ain't nothing like walking in the room and seeing 15 of yous. We need a 37-year-old African American woman, 5'6" to 5'8", size 2. And you walk in the room and there you is. You're like, well, shit. I didn't even know I had this many doppelgangers. Okay? And the competition and then this waiting, it just took too damn long. I'm like, and then we got to reset. And then we got to shoot it again. And then we got to shoot it from a different angle. And don't let the celebrity be on site that day. It's a big old mess. I was in a movie, it's not Frank and Lola. No, what's that movie with Nicolas Cage and Homeboy in it? And we were on the set at the bar, and Nicolas Cage has to come out the bar, and they have him and I think it's Tobey Maguire or the other one. I get them two mixed up. They had their chairs with their names sitting on it. So we're standing to wait to go replace because they were doing close shots, and then you need the extras for the big shots. Here his little whack ass gonna come. And they had the chairs facing us, and he gonna come outside and make somebody turn his chair the other way so he wouldn't have to look at us. And then some of the girls that was supposed to be looking like they was at the club, then he gonna get up and come over there and start talking to them. I said, if you don't get your lame ass out of here, then I'm gonna turn my back. Like, ain't nobody even trying to talk to you. Anyway, the point is that I didn't like it. It was just too, if you're SAG, if you're not SAG, you gotta stand over there, you gotta go eat. The trust, that's what it was, the trust. You had to go over there. I was like, man, y'all can have this. I'm not about to be doing none of this. This is too much for me. But I went for it. I went for it and I did it. And now I have that experience. And so I'm telling you to do the same thing. I have gone for and finagled my way. I won't say finagled, but finessed my way into a lot of meetings that, and not like, oh, ask is like, oh, what's happening? What's at that meeting? Okay, cool. What y'all need? Okay, cool. I'll be back. And now I'm at the meeting. Yes. So, hey, hi, Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers. Yeah, I'm the business doctor. So what we need you to do is, it's going to be a great opportunity for you. Yes. So you can do $20,000 a month. Okay, cool. Let me go back and tell the urban chamber that that's what they're getting ready to get into. So you got to go for it. If the opportunity presents itself, you need to be ready for that doggone opportunity. So go for it. And that goes back to embracing change. If you didn't embrace change, if I was still Dee Dee from the D, there are some meetings I would have never been able to go in. There's some exchanges business-wise and professionally that I would have never been able to do because I still would have had a bat and a tire iron trying to fight somebody. So you got to embrace change. And then the last one is believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, it ain't going to matter. If you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to matter. You have to have enough belief in yourself to go to and through everything. If I did not believe in myself, I'm not sitting here. And how do you believe in yourself? I believe in myself. No, that's not how it's done. Technical competence. When you build your skills and your technical competence and you are taking risks and you are embracing change, you're going to start believing in yourself because you have the resume. You have the resume to get it done. Yesterday, I was watching the video on TikTok, and it was a gentleman teaching people how in the Army how to do road marches so that when they go to specialty schools, they can finish the road march. And so he demonstrated if you're walking at a 14-minute pace, his process for going up and down hills. And he said you could take long strides throughout, but he doesn't recommend it. And so I told him, great video, but I said, that's what I did because I have long legs. So when I do road marches, I can walk at an 11-minute pace because of the stride that I have. And so when I went to Air Assault School, there was another captain that went with me, and she was 2.5 inches taller than me, and we would practice, and she would be running, trying to catch up with me because she was doing that running trot. But what I said is that if you just maintain an 11-minute pace the entire time and you open your stride up, you actually are going to be able to do that. So I told him good video, but he was saying he didn't recommend it. I was saying I was actually somebody who did it, and I finished in 2 minutes and 53 seconds, 2 hours and 53 minutes. I didn't talk about the injury to my hand. That's for another video for a different day. But having that experience, because of my technical competence, I'm able to answer that question. Someone else on TikTok said, should they go to trade school or should they go to the Army? And my reply was, I was enlisted, I was an officer, my daughter has a trade. I'm telling you to go to trade school, don't go into the Army. And people had their reasons for everything. But when you keep going for it and when you keep excelling, because it's one thing to just have been in the military like my cousin Lorraine, but it's another thing to go in as a PFC because you already have 500 hours of leadership in ROTC, and to be a PFC while you're still in high school, going to drill and finishing up high school. That's a different level of belief. That's a different level of confidence at 17 years old. And then to be in the military police corps and to be the only for a lot of stuff and sitting in the room, you have a reason to believe in yourself because you've done the work, you've persevered. So believing in yourself means doing the things that no one else is willing to do. Number one, to include yourself. You're like, man, I gotta do this shit. This is ridiculous. And then the final thing is someone said, they did a video and they asked about the people who served and who were in the military in the 80s and 90s and what was it like. And a bunch of people that were enlisted, they said we were drunk. And I said I was an MP and I was an officer, so I only had two experiences. Either I was dirty as hell in the field or I was breaking starch with spit shine boots on. That was my experience. I didn't have this because I was an officer and a female. A lot of stuff I couldn't do just because I'm like, I could put myself in precarious situations. And plus you got to be an example. So I'm saying if I didn't believe in myself and I didn't take those leaps of faith, I don't have those stories. I don't have that wise counsel to provide to other people. And now I'm just giving you an opinion instead of an actual experience that I have to weigh the pros and cons. So believe in yourself. Any questions on the 9 that we've gone through today? Because I'm going to transition right into what we need to learn. I think I'm going to have the timeline save this for that. And if you have questions, ... And Nola, did you put power in the thing? Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, so right now we're going to go to I'm going to save the Medium article for tomorrow because we do have to go finish up those garage cabinets and I need to stretch this morning. So 2 things. You're going to go to the social media tab on the website. And then you're going to go back to graphography again. So scroll down to the bottom 2/3. And you're going to be right there at the top. So let me know when you're there. You should see it. Turquoise kind of blue power with 4:16, the time 4:16 a.m. in it. Let me know when you're there. So social media, graphography, and then you'll see the power. Okay, so this is what my graphics used to look like when I started on Instagram. Remember I told y'all this is what I could do. So what this is this is the Snapchat clock. That 4:16 is from because I used to get up at 4 and then post after I got up. I didn't make my content the day before. This was in the beginning. So at that time, literally, I could take the Snapchat clock, screenshot it, and then I could put the word power on it. And from there, I would put it in Instagram. So I would use different kind of backgrounds. So I'd take a picture of my carpet, take some pants, wrap them up, and then take a photo. That would be my background. And then I would get the clock out of Snapchat so people would know that I was up at 4 o'clock. And then I would just use one word. And Instagram at that time didn't have stories or anything else, but they had the vignette and the filters. And that would be my post. So basic as hell. That was it. And so that's why I'm saying you got to go for it. You just got to pull the trigger. You got to go for it and you got to believe in yourself. Now you got to go way back to doggone 2016 for this because this was after I stopped using OPC and OPQs. But this is where I was. And what is that going to be? 9 years ago. This is what, yeah, 9 years ago, with me posting my own content, or starting to post my own content. It was by January 2018 when I said nobody else is nothing, nobody else is. It was January 30th, 2018, when I completely was like, yep, this is it. So I'm saying when I start creating better content. There. Okay. So you see that power. So that was my graphic. That was the functionality of social media, and that was the functionality of my. Now I'm putting this out saying, yeah, I'm not asking them to create no more graphics for me. I got this. I got this. I don't need. Now the apps have changed. Now I can animate words to come in on time and slide in and slide out and throw some music in there and all of that. But I had to start where I was with what I had, and I think I had an S2 phone back then, because I'm Android. So I had a Galaxy S2 where I was creating this amazing content. And so I'm sitting that there. So when you feel like, oh, I can't do it because I don't have the right camera equipment, I don't have the right whatever, you got to start with what you have. MacGyver had a Swiss Army knife and some gum and a stapler most times, and he was flying planes and doing everything with that. So you start with what you have and then you improve upon it. And with each day, you're going to have these micro improvements. It's going to help you believe in yourself. But because of who I was, when I put this post up there and everything that I had already done, I didn't take issue with that. That was great for me because I was starting, I was taking risk and attacking my ability to think, my fear of, I can't graphic design. Oh my God. I just didn't like graphic software. As soon as apps started having graphic apps, it was over at that point. And what I found is that people are so attached to Adobe and all that, they won't use it. And with the, but what you can't do with the app is, and what you can't do. But you know what you can do with the app? You ain't got to do all that damn rendering. Rendering takes a whole lot of damn time. And that's why people can't post, because it takes too much time. Apps are faster than software. So if you just need to get something done and get it out, that's better. Ready, Fire, Aim is a book by Michael Masterson. So you put some stuff out there, now you can improve it. But if you're waiting hours for something to render, who has time? Yes, it looks better, but if it's once a week, what happened on the other 6 days? And then that's just one piece of content. So that's what I started with. And now, obviously, if you go down and then if you go to other pages and Dr. Donna quotes and all of that, I'm in them and doing all kind of other things. However, that's where I was. And that's why I keep that one there. So when people start telling me, you don't understand that, because I got, okay, well, that's what I had. I woke up at 4. I got the Snapchat clock. I picked the word, shot a background, and then put an Instagram vignette and filter on it. Boom, done for the day. And now things are a lot different than they were. Okay, based upon time, what we're going to do is you can follow up with your go for it from yesterday. So you go back to the website, to the 74 Principles of Real Leadership, because we're going to pick one out of realistic. So what was your go for it for yesterday? And if you're thinking, ... we're going to get that. You can see the sun is coming up through the blinds. That's how we know spring is in the air. Is this thing on? You go for it from yesterday. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check. 1, 2, mic check. That was a song on Detroit News 4. Go for it, go for it. What you got to show if you don't try? Why don't you go for it? You can tell that was 80s theme song for Channel 4 News. Boom, 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 boom. I took time to rest instead of working, and I would have normally pushed through it and would have ended up in worse shape. That is correct. That is correct. And so my goal for it was yesterday's live because I'm still getting accustomed to spending this much time on my website showing you all of the things that I have done, um and getting saying I did this, this is why I do this. And so literally telling you how things actually occur. But I need to go for it. I have to do it. So going back and explaining how I did the other people's content. And the reason why is because I've been rejected so many times because of my strategies and told that this was dumb, that's stupid, you're doing too much. Why are you doing all of that? It don't take all of that. So now when I say it, where it's like, there she go, overachieving again. Oh, she's so much. And why did you do that much? Did you really, now you're going overboard. So that's what I are hearing on both sides of my head to be able to say it. But you need to understand what it takes to become your best. So I'm doing this to show you what it takes to become your best. That's why it's there. And other people do things for different reasons. And I'm saying and I'm saying that because people look at me and they think, oh, she's a life coach, she's a business coach, she's whatever, because they don't understand I'm an educator. I'm an actual, that's what my doctorate is in. I'm an educator, and these are resources, and I need to tell you how they came about so you will understand that everything that I've done my entire life has been for a reason. Even though this path chose me, I didn't choose it. This is what I came here to do. I'm still besting the situation that I'm in. I understand you didn't participate, Regina, but as I mentioned to you, going for it was when you finished what you were doing. So it wasn't a matter of it being participated on in the live. The go for it was for the day. It was for when you went on from your day. And remember, I said we're about 45, 44 minutes in. So when you get to where you're going or what you're doing, come back to this portion of the live so that you can get the instructions on what to do for go for it. So I understand that. So like Lola is working, so she can't hear that. So that's why I say timestamp, come back, scroll through that part of the live so you can get the instructions for that. So it's not necessarily participating in the live, it's implementing the principle of real leadership for the day. You attended a financial seminar that had nobody that looked like me there and ended up speaking to the audience. Okay, well, there you go, Kevin. That is a go for it. Okay, so Regina, you got 2 today. You got to go for it, and the second one is a eliminate distractions. So under realistic, and number 6 today is eliminate distractions. So for everybody that's here, we are at 57 minutes into the live. So if you are doing something else and you don't have writing materials there, then it is eliminate distractions. And so today you're going to focus on eliminating distractions that are stopping you from focusing on what it is that you need to do. So tomorrow you are going to say, here are the distractions that showed up, and here's what I did to eliminate them. Because the purpose is to use the principles of real leadership, because that's how you become your best when you implement them. So they're resources. So if you need a screwdriver, if you need a drill, if you need a hammer, you don't need it all the time, but when you need it, you need to be able to understand what the purpose of it is, how to use it, and when to use it. And that's the whole purpose of the lives now, is to say, I'm using my brain, which is the most amazing resource that I have. And then the second one is the 74 principles of real leadership, because it teaches me how to hold myself personally accountable, and it teaches me how to become my best. That's how all of this connects together. So go for it for you, Regina, as well as in everybody else. Eliminate distractions. And then Lola, you too, you can email me or message me on LinkedIn, but I need to know that you are actually using what I'm saying. So for me, again, it's not about the money. People can make money. I need to understand if what I am saying is being used. If it's not, how do I make a different strategy and make it so that it can be implemented instantaneously? Okay. Finally, type in what you've learned today, and while you're typing that in, I will summarize. I think I'm done because I will exit out of something and still need to go back and do it. So I believe that I am done. Thank you for that. Okay. So how can I put this? There is no other way to access everything that you need in your life without using your brain. There isn't. If you are not using your brain as it was designed to do, you will not become your best. That's just the reality of the situation. No matter what you're doing, it won't be best. It might be better than average, but it will not be creme de la creme. And how you know that you're operating at your best is because you can teach it to someone else. So Kevin says he's in the audience, and next thing you know, he's standing up speaking to the audience. Now, I'm sure it's because he keeps doing his videos and he's up there, has financial literacy, and now he's telling everybody what they need to do. That doesn't happen if you're not at your best. You might you might leave and go, yeah, man, I should have said something. I didn't say nothing. Dang it, I should have got up there and said something. But when you're taking risks, when you are technically competent, you have the ability to get up and speak. It's because you've done the work ahead of time. And it is in your daily when no one is paying attention. Today is February 26th and it's a Wednesday. But these are the days that matter. This is how the day that I went to aerosol school and did that doggone road march with bleeding hands and everything, I didn't know decades later I would be on TikTok saying, I actually do use a stride throughout. It works. You just have to have long legs to do it. That's not what I was thinking about. I was like, I ain't coming back to this motherfucker, so I got to finish this road march in time. Bleeding skin falling off, galls and everything else. It don't matter. I'm not coming back to aerosol school. So in addition to all this pain in my hands, I got to finish on time. Okay, Regina, you said, and then what did you learn? So my point is your brain is the most magnificent resource that you have available to you. When you use it to learn and function and increase your working memory along with the 74 principles of real leadership. Did I see your answer? Okay, got it. Nola said, I learned how much you have grown in your graphic design. Yes, because when you see it next to each other, it's very interesting. And Regina said, so supported friend by driving to the hospital to visit friend who had a heart pump inserted. That's my go for it. See your answer. Okay. And then my second question, I understand all of that. And so now I'm saying, what did you learn today? So Kevin, what did you learn today? I saw what Nola learned today. So that's the whole point, is to use your brain, to use the 74 principles of real leadership, because that's how you become your best. That is how you become your best. When you believe in yourself, you can a lot of things are possible. When you have done the work to believe in yourself, you can't just sit there. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I believe in that's not it. It's work. It's a whole bunch of work in order. We have pictures of Nola when she first started. I learned the importance of being coachable. That's great. That when Nola first started, she didn't have she had on Chuck Taylors for 8 months and she got scoliosis. I was like, you need some better shoes. You need some better. Got PPE. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And now she has all the PPE. She has her shirts, looking around with her looking like the other TOs going to the 7-Eleven to get their Modelos, and she got her good pop walking in. They look like cousins now. So she got her whole contractor mode, but it took several hundreds of appointments and thousands of pieces of furniture for her to put together for her to have that level of confidence and belief in herself that she could get it done. So that's why you take risks, you challenge yourself, and we'll get to challenge yourself, but that's why you do it, so that you can actually believe in yourself. You learned expect change as it comes. It gives you skills and lessons for your future changes. It does. It gives you the resources. So for the thousands and thousands of days that you've been here, change was there. And if you avoided it and you ran and said, see, they're trying to get me to do, I ain't about to do all that. And now you're like, damn, when I was in high school, when I was in college, when I had that job, then I would be able to do this. So change is a growth opportunity. It just showed up as a problem. It just showed up at what you think is the wrong time, but it was in perfect timing because the dots will connect later. That's how it goes. So thank you very much. I do have one final question, is this. Do you have a better understanding of the principles of real leadership and how you can start implementing them? Because that's the purpose. So do you have a better understanding of them and how to use them? I do get to stretch my hands out and do my ergonomics. A lot of boxes to cut today. In the rain. Good morning. So are y'all thinking? Because I didn't see any dots. Yes, having them visible during the live is very helpful. Got it. Nola or Regina, before we go. We're finishing up those garage shelves. I agree with Kevin. Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, you all go off and have a great rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow, higher power, God, and the universe willing. Same time, same place, different t-shirt. And just to reiterate, today is eliminate distractions. So you are going to monitor your day and eliminate any distractions that show up. If you have a distraction-free day, that's amazing too. But you are paying attention to the distractions and what strategies you're using to eliminate those distractions, because the distractions are people, places, and things that are stopping you from focusing on the thing that you are focusing on. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Adios.